Next question comes from the Magnum 924. What is your dream name for the NX, assuming that it isn't a console's real name? I actually like the Nintendo NeXt, or I like the Nintendo Fusion. Sorry to be boring, guys, but I think in today's day, like, don't be crazy with names. Wii U, we worked, but that was the Wii. Wii U didn't work. Um, don't be crazy with names. Just put out a name. Just put out something cool, something simple, something easy, something clean. Nintendo Next, and then you spell it. This is how you spell it. You do it like how Zero does his name, Zero, the professional Smash Bros. Player. You make it a capital N, a lowercase e, a capital X, and then a lowercase t. And then you really broaden, like you make sure like the N and the X have like the Street Fighter style watercolor like paint, like the really cool looking font where it looks like, like I don't know if any of you guys have played like the Street Fighter games on the PS4 or like the newest Street Fighter games. Like they have the really cool like font color, like where it looks like aggressive. Like you make it like that. Like you make the N and the X really cool looking. Um, and the Nintendo Next. It's what's next from Nintendo. Like the advertising is just built there. Like there's nothing wrong with going with predictable. Yes, Nintendo Next would be predictable and it'd be easy, an easy slogan, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The Nintendo Fusion, that's a little bit more abstract, I guess, maybe, or a little bit, I don't know, but it would work. It's like you have a fusion of these two of the home console and portable. It's easy, it's simple, and it rolls off the tongue. Nintendo Fusion, and I think that's what Nintendo needs to go with. No more crazy names, like no more, Wii or anything. Don't try to do anything like that. Gamers, for the most part, just want something normal and clean. PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4. You know, I mean, you have Xbox 360, Xbox One. That's a little weird, but it's nothing crazy. But it's a little weird, but nothing too bad. I actually like Xbox 360. I think that's a great name. PlayStation is just PlayStation. It's simple, it's clean, it's normal, and it's easy. So, yeah. Next question comes from Big D Rules 95. Regarding third-party support, do you think Nintendo is primarily targeting Japanese publishers, indie/mobile devs, and to an extent smaller Western publishers like 505 Games rather than AAA Western publishers like EA and Bethesda? I think Nintendo has more of an emphasis on indie developers and Japanese publishers. Yeah, yeah, I definitely think that they're gonna make sure that they have games from Capcom, Square Enix, Bandai Namco, developers like that, over Western developers like Bethesda. I don't think Bethesda hasn't said anything about the Nintendo NX. I mean, neither is EA, but it would be in Nintendo's best interest to get Bethesda games on there, and to get Western developers on there. I think Nintendo's going to target Ubisoft for sure. I think Ubisoft is in the bag, and I think EA definitely needs to be the next. If there is a priority list, I would say Ubisoft is number one. I would say EA is number two, and then I would say Take Two is number three over Bethesda. Nintendo needs to make sure they have the next Grand Theft Auto on the NX. They need. I would even petition to get Grand Theft Auto 4. Like I would say, like Grand Theft Auto 4, 5, all the DLC on one disc, and put it on the or on one disc, like digitally. Like I would even say Nintendo could do something like that, um, or Nintendo. It would be in Nintendo's best interest. They need Grand Theft Auto, and if there's like a next like Red Dead Redemption, like Red Dead Redemption was huge, huge on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Like they need to make sure they have the next Red Dead Redemption. They need to make sure that they have Take Two, like the basketball, like NBA 2K game sells gangbusters. Like you got to have basketball games, you got to have that. But I mean, they need EA too, though. But I think Take Two is a little bit more important than Bethesda because Bethesda just doesn't make enough games, and their games don't sell as much. I mean, obviously Skyrim, okay, Skyrim sells just as much, and well, not as much as Grand Theft Auto, but it sells, and and they have Fallout, which is going to sell gangbusters. But I think Take Two with Grand Theft Auto is a little bit more important. But yeah, they need those Western. They need everybody. I think they need everybody. But hopefully, they can get that. But yeah, I do think that they're gonna have more of a focus on indie developers, Western indie developers, like Yacht Club Games. than the Western developers. I mean, and it's worked out for Yacht Club Games. Yacht Club is amazing, and look at what they're doing. They're becoming a bigger and bigger company, and they have an amiibo now. You know, Nintendo rewarded them, and I think that's the little secret thing, and I think that surprised many people in the industry. If you're Bethesda or if you're EA, wouldn't you want to have an amiibo out there to promote your stuff? Amiibo's popular. Wouldn't you want to have an amiibo of like a Commander Shepard or an amiibo of a character that you have? Obviously, Ubisoft, wouldn't you want to have like a Rayman amiibo? So, I mean, these companies, you saw what Nintendo did for Yacht Club. They can do the same for big third-party companies too. Like, so I think that's part of Nintendo's transformation as well. So like doing stuff like the Shovel Knight amiibo. If amiibo somehow came out in the Wii era, I don't think Nintendo would have made an amiibo off of an indie game, you know. But in this era where they have to really, the sales aren't there and they have to really repair third party relationships, I think that's the reason why we got that amiibo too. So